Hi, I'm Monica Cesarato, a food and travel blogger in Venice. Welcome to Venice Meets, a series of live chats from Instagram every day at 6 p.m. CET. Today I will be talking to Cesare Benelli, chef and owner of restaurant Al Covo in Venice. Ciao Cesare!
Ciao.
How are you? Oh, we can do this in English, yes?
Okay.
Yes, okay. No,
Okay.
the last time I said that to somebody, he went like, okay, Alberto Toso Fai said, you tricked me. So, how are you? And how are you, Diane? Because I know you have a back there.
We're doing okay. We're doing okay. Thanks God, we're doing okay. Lorenzo is doing fine. Diane she's okay, and I'm okay.
Okay, good. So
I don't
let's
feel like
start.
saying more than okay because the mental
Of
situation
course,
is.
of course. Yes, we'll talk about that in a minute. I know. Don't worry. I meant it. How are you feeling? As you do. So first of all, let's explain everybody who is Cesare Benelli and who is Ristorante Al Covo.
Cesare Benelli is the patron of the restaurant Al Covo, on a matter of fact, and is running with Diane and Lorenzo the restaurant since 1996, 86, sorry.
86. Oh wow, that is
86. So it's
whoa.
a little while that we are on the market.
Well, you're one of the historic now ones, aren't you? Now,
Well, yes,
yes.
yes, we can say so. Although there are, you know that there are restaurants that have been around even longer than that. But yes, we are an historical. It's an historic location. The osteria, it was an osteria in the end of the last century, of the 19th century,
Okay. Okay.
20th
Okay.
century. And it was a very old location. It was supplying food and drinks and wine for the people working at the Arsenale.
Okay. So, do you actually come from a family of restaurant people, or did you start from?
Yes. See, I'm sorry. Yes, it's a family things. My grandfather, my family, all my family except for my mother, they're Toscans. They were
Hmm.
Toscans. They come from Tuscany, and they opened. My grandfather opened from my mother's side opened the first trattoria in 1921 in
Wow.
Lido.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I grew up. I actually, literally, I was born inside an hotel because my mother. I was born in in Tuscany in a long time ago, and my mother used to
Dettagli,
with
dettagli, Cesare, dettagli.
dettagli, and he actually she delivered me inside this small hotel that they had in Montecatini.
Oh,
So I'm
wow.
actually born in Montecatini.
Okay, so you're not Venetian. Go away. I don't want to talk to you then.
And they moved when I was 11 months old.
Okay.
So, and back then the little boy were wrapped in fascia,
The
the
CPC
famous word in fascia, and I was literally wrapped in fascia when I came in Venice.
Oh, wow, cool. So, would you, I know you do traditional Venetian cooking, and it's something that I always loved about coming to your restaurant, okay? Would you say that the Tuscan in you, though, every so often comes out?
It does come out, on a matter of fact, because the first inspiration was given by my grandmother, and she was truly Toscan, although she was, living here forever. And she died not long ago at 97 years old, and she was a chef, a cook
Mm-hmm.
herself. And she was cooking. Say they started with a trattoria, then they they grew up, they became bigger, and they became albergatori, hotelier. So they had two hotels, actually three hotels in Lido. And my grandmother, actually, she was the chef for the hotel. She was the responsible for the kitchen in all the three hotels.
Oh, wow. That's a big responsibility. Not one, three. Wow.
Super lady.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, okay, and that comes out in your cooking then. Okay, next time I come, you're gonna have to make me something very Tuscan then. Obviously, like everybody, you had to close. The news came out last night, I think, of a new regulation that when I read them, I was like, yeah, maybe in the mainland, but in Venice. The measures is just impossible, isn't it? Just a question of state.
Well, they changed now. They've been adjusted. I was reading right before connecting to you the new regulation, and they are a little smoother than the previous one. And now the distances are they used to be 4 square meters. Now they are 1 square meters. So pretty much the space it's much more reasonable now. The space that you have to maintain between customers is much more reasonable. But the point is not the restrictions, telling you the truth. In Venice, the point is the clientele. To open a restaurant like our ones and many other restaurants that that I belong to this association, Ristoranti della Buona Qualità, and pretty much we share this problematic. And for us to start the startup costs, they need to have clienteles, and at the moment there is no clientele.
Exactly.
It would be probably in the beginning with the old clients that they call me at home. They say, when are you going to reopen? We're going to come up. Yes, but then again, they're going to come up, but the numbers are very few. And to reopen an economy like our ones, although it's a small economy, but we have 10 employees, and to justify the expenses and the labor cost and the fixed cost, we require at least a 50% of the regular income.
Yes.
Lower than that, it's a loss.
Yeah. I've actually, you are about the 5th restaurant person I speak between yesterday and today, and you all said exactly the same thing to me.
See, that is the problem.
Yeah, and everybody's saying to me, yeah, I can open on Monday. I can. I'm not. People telling me June, maybe middle of June, if, as you say, people are gonna start to come. I mean, hopefully now that they said that people can come to Italy without the quarantine, maybe we will start having people coming back, but I don't know. But I totally understand. Also because, there's something I said the other day, and it wasn't just to restaurants. There was an article that said that now in China, there is a boom. Everybody's going out. Everybody's going to restaurants. Everybody's going shopping. And my first question was, in Italy, with what money? If nobody's working, I mean, I want to come out. I want to come to Venice and I want to spend the money, but I don't have the money. So
yeah, this is true. But you see, Monica, this tragedy for certain people represented an economical default. For other people, it represented an opportunity and a reason to growing up. So it's not only the money, because there is some money around. There is some money. There's some people that they got a little better. Not many, but there are. And I know them personally. People that relate in the food industry, in the pharmacological industry, and in many factors. But the point is the fear.
Yes.
People still have the fear. Remember, we had another small tragedy in November.
Wasn't small, but yeah. Wasn't exactly
well, a big, not as big as this one, but it was a big problem in November when we had the Acqua Granda. And the people kept the feeling, the perception of the Acqua Alta for months. In
Yes.
February, when we had to close again for this calamity, there were people that were still calling me and says, "Will you still have water there?" So the perception
Yeah.
of the damage things remains, although there is not, you know.
Yeah. Do you think?
Imagine how they would, you know,
Oh yeah. No.
digest
But
this.
don't you think? Don't you think that the image of Venice still underwater was also due to a really bad press? And that's what's still happening nowadays. I was discussing it before on the phone with somebody, with an hotel manager, and we were discussing, and I said, how come is everybody taking photos, videos, articles about Venice deserted, Venice is dying, everybody, but nobody's writing this kind of article for other parts of Italy? Because in Florence they have a problem, in Rome they have a problem, Sorrento they have a problem, Ischia. What about all the hotels in Abano and Montegrotto? They will not be able to open because if you cannot have a sauna, if you cannot go to the terme, why would you go there in the first place?
Exactly.
Okay, but nobody's talking about this. Everybody's concentrated on Venice. Why? Why do you think that?
Because Venice is nell'immaginario, in the public imaginary. It belongs to the imaginary.
Oh, 1 second, you're gone. Wait a minute, lost connection. Sorry guys, we'll be back. Wait. Just a second, it's lost. It's moved this phone and the connection went. Ok, adesso sì, sei sparito nel momento dell'immaginario. Yeah, dall'immaginario in poi non ti abbiamo più sentito.
Venice is not a city. It probably never been a city in the proper sense of the word. It's been a representation of a city. And even in the 16th, 15th century, it was not a proper city. It was a super representation. It was representing a huge visions, and now still represent the imaginary of the people. There is no vision behind now, but there is the imaginary of the crowd, of the people. So everything grows and inflates all the information. The problem with the communication that we had in November for the Acqua Alta was not on what has been said about the city, but what is being shown. So the images, they create an incredible damage because they were not, well directed. The people were not even listening at the word. The journalists and the bloggers and the people were saying, they were just captured and by the images, and they build up this fear, this that what happened. And
but I think it's a very sad. So what do you think, obviously, what do you think the city, and I know he's not going to do it, but let's say, what do you think the city should be doing right now? I'm not talking about economically, because obviously that's something political or whatever, but from a point of communication, what should they do nowadays to try to tell people, look, we are here, we're ready, just, waiting for you?
Look, Monica, to me, from my point of view, they should, now the images aren't the right images. Contrary to what happened in November, now the images are proper images. Venice has never been so beautiful. Like this, so the way it is, Venice now, it's very attractive. It's almost aristocratic. Is his nature, that has been hidden for many times, for many years, but now that there's no crowd around. So the point is to show Venice the way it is. And we have to start, from my point of view, not only from its monuments and his cultural value, but especially from his environment, because the environment is the key of getting out of this situation. We have to restart from the ambiente, from the environment, from the lagoon, from we need to show the l'altra Venezia, the other Venice.
But there isn't just the monument, the icon monument, because that's the problem. That's another problem. They only show the iconic ones, but they don't show all the other 98% of the city that is just as beautiful, as important.
Which is beautiful.
Exactly.
And is real. And they are real. It's una Venezia minore, it's a minor Venice.
Yes.
But it's so attractive and much more human and much more close to us. And we need to work on those images. We need to go and show the little spontaneous flowers that they grow between the stones. We need to show the pattere. We need to show the little osteria, the little artisanal shops.
You know why I'm laughing. You know why I'm laughing, because I told you.
You always have a beautiful smile.
No, but you know why I'm actually smiling more now, because you actually just saying. I told your wife that I'm gonna call you later on today and explain you the project that I'm gonna. I thought it was gonna be only an idea, but now it's actually starting, and it is exactly that what you just said. So it is, and then the more I speak to people, everybody say to me, "Yes, that's it." What I don't get though, if we are all saying this, how come they're not hearing it? That's what I'm really annoyed about. But let's talk about nice things. Okay, no more sad things. You are part also of an association that takes care of the vines of the city.
Well, yes, not as much as I used to be, but I'm still, yes, I'm one of the founders. Is the Laguna nel Bicchiere, le Vigne Ritrovate. This is a part, this is another, it's what we're talking about. That was a project that was an idea of this exceptional person that was Flavio Franceschetti, a dear friend of mine that is no longer with us. But is an idea of a different idea of a city. And he was starting again to look at the land, la terra, from the Mother Earth. And Venice still is full of garden, vegetable garden, vineyards, and all this was disappearing.
Yeah, sorry to interrupt you. People don't actually realize that in Venice, it was self-sustainable. You had vineyards, as in our own vineyards with our own type of wines. It didn't exist anywhere else in the world, right?
No, it was an amazing territory. Venice was totally independent. Was providing everything on his own. It was, of course, getting the things from all over the world, because with the trades they introduced everything, but in the emergency they were able to provide everything on their own.
Exactly.
Starting from the sea, from the water, that was considered a great resource. The garden, the vegetable garden, the farming, and everything was produced in Venice. So back then, when we found this, we decided to create this association. There were many places that were disappearing. They were literally abandoned. And so the idea was to preserve and to recreate the original spaces and maintain them, and involving the other people, and starting with the grape. It was a nice project because he was a teacher. Flavio was a teacher. He was teaching in the secondary schools, and it was making laboratory with the kids in making wines. So we were going around in Mazzorbo, where now there is the actual Venetia,
Yeah.
and then we were harvesting the grape with the schoolboys, and we're making wine. So they all started like this.
Wow. Cool.
And so the kids were actually making wine. They were harvesting the grape and making the wine.
Wow, that's great. When was that? When did you start? When did you found the association?
That was, my gosh, more or less it was, no, it was 2005.
Oh, okay, it's a long time. Wow. Okay. And now I know that now because I went to a couple of wine shows, and I think the last one was what was it? Last year, I can't remember when. There were all the organic wines, and I think the association was there, wasn't it? With
Yes.
yeah.
Well,
And
yes.
well, can't remember. It's the day I end up in hospital, but I can't remember what day it was. I think it was was the September last year. The one that they did in Scuola Grande della Misericordia. No, scusami, San Giovanni Evangelista.
Oh yes, was the sì.
Yeah.
There was also Laguna nel Bicchiere.
Yeah, because I know I tried the wine. Yeah, I remember I tried the wines and I thought it was so interesting. And I think this is one of the things that really so few people know about it, because of course now more people find out about Venissa because of the marketing work that is done. But people don't realize that it's not just Venissa. There are a lot of other, and Venice is full of gardens.
Oh, many
as well.
others. We have the cellar, Monica. We have the cellar in San Michele, inside the cloisters of San Michele. It's a 16th century cellar.
Oh,
we have vineyards in Vignole. We have Vigna in Malamocco, in Lido.
Wow. Okay.
San Michele also has vineyards, where's the Dorona and Prosecco.
We're talking San
There are many different locations.
You're talking about San Michele, Cemetery San Michele?
See, the cloister next to the cemetery.
Okay, wow.
Next to the church,
Sì.
And the association actually is growing, and now is part of a bigger association which collect all the association from the ancient vineyards in the cities. And we are with Berlin, we are with Paris,
Cool.
we are with Siena, and many other locations in Europe, and it's growing up.
Oh, that's
It's
beautiful.
a beautiful idea. It's a beautiful idea of the people. They love it. The partner, and if I may spend just a couple of words to promote these things.
Of course, that's why I've asked you, Cesare.
To belong to the association, it only takes a very small amount. It's only 20 euros, and you become partner, and you enter in the mailing communication, and you become part not only of the process of harvesting the grape and making the wine, but also the excursions that we make and we promote inside the lagoon.
How come I don't know about this? How come I didn't know?
Oh, very interesting. Then they are in the small islands in Malamocco, in Lido, in Vignole. So you put your hand, you like Flavio used to say, come si dice marcare il territorio?
To mark a territory.
Mark the territory.
Like a dog.
and now is the moment really to
Of course. And so
take advantage of this.
Okay, so talking about this, since we're talking about wine and we're talking about disasters, what happened to the vineyards with the Acqua Granda? Was it do you know now if there were any damages? Because
no, we know exactly. We didn't have any major damage on the vineyards. The vineyards usually they are historical. They are very old vineyards, so the location they're very old. So they were already located in very high areas.
Okay.
And the vineyards they are till a certain measure, they are used to deal with salt. You know,
Okay.
it was not that bad to destroy the vineyard.
Okay. Is that because, hold on, you're gone again. Okay, just a second, guys, until he comes back. Okay. Is that, so the difference between what happened in 66, when Vedorona practically nearly disappeared from everywhere in Venice, is it because it was for so long the water? And he wrote, oh, you're gone. What are you doing? Is Diane? Okay,
No,
Diane is.
I'm sorry, I didn't.
I said
I'm
that.
sorry, Monica.
It's okay.
I lost a little piece of that.
Okay, I was saying the difference between what happened in 66 when, for example, the Dorona grapes totally disappeared, there only were few left because they totally, the roots totally rotten up. Is that because the water stayed for so long compared to the Acqua Grande of this year when he, well, last year, when he actually came?
I'm not sure about that. Probably the vineyards were kind of lower. The new implants that were put it higher up.
Okay.
You see what I mean?
Okay.
You know, the history of Venice deal with water, with high water, even in the past.
Yes,
so the houses in Venice were
Used to it.
They used to be tore down and rebuilt in a higher position.
Okay.
So
okay.
So the Venetian, and then probably that what happens. So the new vineyards, although not all the Dorona disappear, because Gastone Vio still has the original plants of Dorona.
Okay.
In Sant'Erasmo.
Okay.
Still there. Sant'Erasmo is higher.
Okay. So let's talk about you and cooking now. I know what's my favorite dish when I come there. I got two. But what is the dish that you really, really, really enjoy cooking when obviously you get to cook it?
You know, it's a tricky question. I like.
That's why
I
I
like cooking. I cook at home. I cook every time I can. I cook it. I cooked in the restaurant for 18 years myself. So I was actually the cook, not the chef, the cook, because I prefer to use this term, because our cuisine is a cuisine based on the territory, of course, strictly related to the territory, and on the ingredients. So the protagonista of the dish,
yes.
is always the ingredients. It's not the chef. The chef adds a little contemporaneity. But not much. Otherwise, mortify the ingredients. I really think that our territory, our water territories, is so rich and so unique and so peculiar that we really need to be very careful when we manipulate the ingredients, because it's almost perfect by itself. So a little interpretation, a little contemporarily, but at the end is the ingredient.
Yes.
Either fish, either vegetable, either meat, but always the ingredient.
Yeah.
You know, we are also part of the alliance of the slow food restaurants, and so we use also the slow food presidium, which are a product they have a tradition, a very old tradition, and
Cesare,
from all over Italy.
Yeah, Cesare, we're very lucky that in the territory of Veneto we have a lot of slow food presidi. We're lucky in that sense.
See, we are lucky, not as much as the Meridione.
Okay.
The Meridione has the highest number, not Sicily. Sicily is a mine of.
Listen, Cesare, we got more wine. Okay.
I don't know. No. Even wine there.
We do.
Yes, and you know, I like the dishes that they are where the ingredients speaks by itself. Those are my favorite ingredients. The risotto, I think, is one of the most representative Venetian dish. It's not exactly the risotto itself, but the minestra di riso, the risi e bisi, the risi e luganeghe, risi e verze, risi e fagioli, risi e patate. That for me is the like the carbonara in Rome or the matriciana in Matricia. The minestre di riso are the representation of the Venetian cuisine. No other cuisine has this tradition.
Yeah.
And they are very elegant soups, dense. They resemble a little bit like the risotto, but they're not risottos.
Esatto.
And so I like to cook those. Those are, I love them. I love rice. Probably you can tell.
Yeah, I do as well. That's what bugs me a little bit when, when tourists come over, when visitors come over, or when people ask me to write a list of, can you give us the best Venetian dishes? And everybody is expecting me to talk about pasta. And I go, no, the main staple of Venice are two, polenta and rice.
Polenta rice.
And that's
perfect.
it.
Exactly.
That's what it is. And
it's very correct.
It is, isn't it? And I said, yeah, but we eat pasta. Don't deny that we don't. My dad, midday, every day, he's got to have his pasta, But it's a new thing. Look back at all the old books. It's all about risotto. Oh, my God. I always say, I was interviewed years ago, Giancarlo Caldesi. Yeah, okay. Giancarlo wrote the book, and he got a couple of my recipes. And when we were talking, I remember they were interviewing me, and he said to me, "Come on, give us. What can you tell us about risotto? Just one thing. If it can be cooked, it can go. If it's edible, it can go in a risotto." I said, "You can do it with roses. How good is risotto con le rose? It's amazing." So, and I said, you can put it, you can cook it. Fine. So I thought.
No, very versatile. Also was very diffuse, was very, very common in Venice because the rice during the Republic was detaxed.
Yes.
In order to promote, because they were the Venetian to introduce it in the northern Italy, in Italy. So the Venetian were from the east, from the navigation from the east. So it was detaxed, and it was practically in all the important menus. I'm sorry.
Diana, give some water to this poor guy.
Oh, Monica, I have better.
What are you drinking? What are you drinking? What's that? What is that?
This is it's a wine from a friend. It's called Dornac.
Ooh.
It's from Alto Adige.
Nice.
And is a curious wine. The grape is called Solaris. It's a peewee grape.
Okay.
You know what peewees grape are?
Mm-hmm.
They are implanted in order to resist to the diseases and the thing. And is as you can tell from the
cloudy.
Color, it's an orange wine.
And is it your glass or is it cloudy as well, slightly?
No, it's a little cloudy also. It's a little cloudy, but as a very goldish color.
I know. It looks like a sweet wine.
What American calls orange wine.
Yeah, okay. But Alto
Adige, done with macerations on the skin. It's very pleasant wine.
Oh wow!
Not too high in alcohol, 12%. Beautiful wine. If I may, this is the label.
Yeah, of course you have to. No, you may. Okay, good. Cool. Okay, and we honestly, when eventually we can come back in the restaurants, this is one of the wines you've got in the restaurants?
Yeah, sure.
Good.
Of course,
perfect.
Of course.
Okay, fantastic.
I'm always run through my cellar during these 2 months.
Yeah, that's what I was about to say. What happened between you and your son, I assume, because I know he loves
exactly.
this.
And Diane, also Diane.
No, Diane, she's always happy. She doesn't need wine. And guys, the second dish that I like has got nothing to do with Cesare. Is Diane's cake that is legendary in Venice. Ciao, Cara. So, Okay, Ben, what was I going to ask you? Yeah, talking about food, because I see people get interested in this. So you obviously make sure that most of your ingredients, of course, where possible, are from the Lagoon of Venice.
Yes, the fish strictly from the Northern Adriatic. I only use Northern Adriatic fish. 90% of my fish is from Adriatic. And north or south. Do you still hear me?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
And I'm very fond of these things because fish, the Adriatic now it was one of the most rich seas of all, considering the biodiversity of species. And the Adriatic and the lagoons, the several lagoons that are along the Adriatic, Laguna di Marano, Laguna di Caorle, Laguna di Venezia. The lagoons are a reproduction valley. The fish enter the lagoon to reproduce. So the predators, they enter the lagoon and they feed themselves with the eggs of other fishes. So the fish is highly nourished and high proteins. And it has an incredible gastronomical values, exceptional. And the Adriatic also has a characteristic being one of the saltiest sea of all. So that gives also a value of its catch. Unfortunately, the Adriatic is being overfished like many other seas in the world. But now is this what happened now make the nature give the nature a break.
Yes.
So and it's enough. It was sufficient 3 months of not fishing, of reduced fishing, and the quantity of the fish start reproducing, making. So that's what we needed. From that point of view, we needed that.
That's
it really helped.
Yeah, there's two things I wanted to say about that. There is something I was thinking today. There's Paolo Brandolisio, one of the Remer, was taking a video it was on the Vaporetto, and I was looking at the water, and it was amazing. The color was incredible. There were no boats but the Vaporetto, and I was thinking, 3 months of no movement. Wow, what would he have done to the ecosystem of the canals? But I was thinking of one thing, and you said you only get a Northern Adriatic fish. This means that you literally really are only using seasonable product, because of course certain fish is only available strictly on certain seasons. So if I come in winter, I will only have winter stuff and tough luck.
That's a for sure. That's absolutely. You can do differently. You have to follow the season and the moment. Unfortunately, the season now during the years have been around a long time, and the seasons are a little changed. But yes, we are strictly related to the season, and to the availability also, no? Because of the market. So you find, for instance, if you don't find the triglia, my clients one time says, well, when you're talking about season, it's always the season somewhere. But
somewhere.
It's not somewhere. That's what's happening. So there's not the season of the triglia, for instance, but there is the season somewhere else. And so they are imported. Now, unfortunately, on the market, you find not proper now this precise moment, but a few months ago, you used to find fish from all over the world, and 90% of the Venetian market was from abroad. Fresh fish, but from abroad, from France, from Morocco, from Spain, from other area, from Mediterranean, and also from
the ocean,
sea, and
the Atlantic. Of course.
Still is.
Yeah, of course. So 2 things. Somebody's asking me your favorite fish and what season.
Well, I can say that my favorite fish, there are three. I can't decide which is better of these three. One
Okay.
is the wild turbo. The
Love it.
second is
I love
the turbo. The turbo is the king for me. Is the king of the Adriatic. The second fish is the
it.
triglie more that are caught in the port here. Those are something unbelievable. And the third choice is the bisato, the eel.
Oh, no, sorry, can't agree on that. It's
No, it's not.
sorry, Liam. You know what?
You have to try.
No, you
If
know
it's
why?
well cooked,
It
no.
always tastes earth. It's like beetroot and eels. Oh, I just tried it trust me, I tried it many times. I will, no.
Okay, Monica, don't worry. Nobody's perfect.
Yeah, but I do like your moeke. The moeke, I'm fine with those. Listen,
It's such a.
um,
But then
talking,
again, like you're saying, there's so many
yeah.
variety.
Talking
The
about,
biodiversity, it's amazing. It's a miracle. It's a
yes,
miracle. Our lagoon, it's a miracle.
talking about fish
Literally.
and what is
Hmm?
she doing? That woman, send it away. She's interfering. Listen, talking about fish and Rialto Market. So, 2 months ago, they were crying like crazy because they said, oh, we're gonna close, we got no clients, nobody's buying anything from us. The Rialto Market is dying. Then the quarantine arrived and there were queues at the Rialto Market. Do you hope and do you think this is going to be a trend that stays, as in that maybe people have rediscovered the Rialto Market, the locals I'm talking about?
No, Monica. Unfortunately, the Rialto is a problem. It's a real problem. No, we had to. I mean, the city after all this, the city will have to be rethinked. So we have to ripensata completamente
Yeah.
and redefined. We have to redefine the city, and so probably will be a rinascita, a reborn of the market.
You
But
just said
the situation.
a very magic word, actually. You are, I don't know what's going on, but you are telepathic. You have just, oh gosh, I got to call you out. The moment I tell you what
Well,
I'm,
we need to talk. We need to
we
talk.
need to talk, definitely need to talk, but yes,
and because the market is really it's in serious dangers. But not only Rialto, but also the Tronchetto,
yes, of
the
course,
wholesale market. There
yes,
are very few left,
okay.
and we will really have to redefine the whole economy of the
Yeah.
city.
Well, I think
And
we should start redefining by bringing back the citizens as well
exactly,
as a
exactly.
visitor, but citizen to we need to bring back the city to a state. I'm not saying we need to have 200,000 inhabitants in Venice, okay, but a sufficient number to say that when, because it's gonna happen again. I'm sorry, it's not if. The situation that we just went through the last couple of months will happen again in the future. So
Exactly.
we need to go back to a city that is going to be like Florence, like Rome, where yes, it lives from tourism, but not just from tourism. And the only way to do that for me is to give back the homes, to residents, to say, look, yes, come in Venice. It's not going to cost you 3,000 euros a month to stay here.
You see what we need, let's become a little political without exaggerating.
Yeah.
We already have those inhabitants, Monica, and they are living in Mestre. Mestre, i Mestrini are our people, are Venetians,
I know.
and there are 180,000 Venetians right there. We need to make the historical center of Venice affordable
Yes.
and livable
Exactly.
And from the Venetian, they're right there. They're not miles away. They don't need to take
Exactly.
airplanes.
Exactly.
They need promotion. They need to have an idea to promote the city to them. And now, never been better. A
Yeah.
city like this, they never saw it before, and
Exactly.
and I hope they will see it.
Yeah.
And then that's what we are asking as an association. We are asking to the mayor. We are asking to in to promote the city to the Venetian, to the tourism or proximity to the Veneto, to the Veneti and the Triveneto and Friulani and Trentini, where they're very close to us.
Hmm.
But in order to do that, you need to make the city
Afford.
more affordable.
Well,
Parking rates, tickets,
yeah. Well,
in order to.
Cesare, I was discussing this with Jill Kirby. I was discussing this the last couple of months with everybody, and the actual everybody says, "Oh, it's a hard thing to do," but it's not, because first, if you regulate the housing, and if I'm a person who got 5 apartments, you got to regulate that and say to me, okay, you got 5 apartments, you want to rent them to the tourists. 2 goes to the tourists, 3 must go to the locals at a decent price. And maybe, but at the same time, I can see from the point of view of the person giving an apartment. I got to have the assurance that if a person doesn't behave properly and doesn't treat my property correctly, I need to be able to kick him out. Because
Well, yes, but
no,
you know,
I'm
but that.
saying, as an owner.
No, you're right. You're perfectly right. But then again, well, Monica, now it's an opportunity.
Yeah, of
I
course.
think I feel, you know, I'm not optimist in all the for what is concerned our business and the business of the restoration in Venice. But I'm optimist in a way, in the sense that the city will change. So we have now a lot of apartments, empty apartments.
Yeah.
No demand for them, but there are some people that they are calling me, and they are thinking that this tragedy evidentiate that we can work at home. Journalists, smart working,
Of
right?
course.
And so
Venice will
why
be
don't
perfect.
choose a beautiful city
I
to
know,
smart working?
exactly.
And so
You don't have cars in
and so
Venice, so you don't even, well, you get a smoke anyway, but okay, but you don't have cars, so you don't have a noise, and everything is there, and the community, the sense of community of
and
Venice.
the culture and the
And
beauty, the beauty.
exactly. I know. I just think they should be.
The beauty will save us.
Yeah.
You know that they say in America, they
Yeah.
say, you know, too big to fail.
Yes.
You know? And
Yes.
we are too beautiful to
To
fail.
fail. Yeah, that's true. Well, I think, you know,
I hope so.
you know what, Cesare? I think this is a time that maybe Venetians should stop being merchants for a year or so at least, and pull together rather than fighting, because that's another big thing, unfortunately, in Venice. People don't, everybody take care of his own little orto, as you say, right? And I think it's
Yeah,
time people
you're right,
collaborate.
Monica. This isn't it like this everywhere?
Oh, in Italy,
Even
yes.
this, even worldwide now, you know, it's a consideration that I was thinking the other night, listening to the professor that was speaking. So this was a geographically a huge problem, no, that hit the entire world, but politically was not run in a total way. Each state handled the situation on its own. We lacked on that. That's why we are in this. For me, in this at this point, because if all the states that were putting together strategies and working together, you know, Russia decided to do it in one way, England decided to do it another way, United States decided to do it another way, Germany, Italy, they didn't share. They were not. They didn't. Was a global problem, but the solution was not globalized.
Yeah, At least as Europe,
this is a
at
problem.
least as Europe, we should have handled it all the same. Otherwise, what's the point of being Europe if even in an emergency you don't deal with it together?
Yeah, Europe first, but then the other
Yeah,
also, because we are all interconnected.
of
Our
course.
society, it's a fluid.
Yeah.
It's symmetric society. It's fluid, very fluid, and we had to come up with solution totally global.
Yeah.
We missed that.
Yeah.
We could have saved a lot of life.
Yes, definitely.
Because there was a lot of confusion, a lot of ignorance, and the things that were not good, the timing was not right. You know, we achieved certain, but we were not fast enough, starting from China.
Yeah,
And,
of course. Yeah. Because it's all
but we are
politics.
becoming political now.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah. Listen, Cesare, I can't wait to come and see you guys, even if you don't open, but just to say hi. I hope you're gonna be open because I
Well, we
mean,
are putting
listen,
together now. We're putting together some ideas that we will probably, because I can't stand home. I can't stay home anymore.
yeah, I missed artichokes. I missed the moeke. I missed the asparagus. I missed everything this year. What am I gonna eat in June? Can't have strawberries, gee. I'll have a Bellini. No way. Okay, Cesare and Diana. Diana, I know you were there suggesting in. I could hear you underneath. She's like, what's it called? What do you call it in the theater when you have a guy underneath who suggests you the words?
In Venetian, they're called gobbo.
Ecco, boom. Gobbo.
I'm the suggestion.
Guys, it was so nice talking to you, and I hope to see you soon. Oh, you're gone. No, don't disappear to me on now that I got to say goodbye to you. Okay, and I'll write to you. Okay, hold on. Don't disappear. Okay, like ti saluto.
I got you now.
Okay, thank you so much, and I'll be in touch soon because
Ciao,
me
Monica.
and you are thinking the same. Okay? Ciao
Okay.
ragazzi, a presto.
Ciao.
Ciao.